This morning, a former Illinois deputy is sentenced to 20 years for killing a black woman. Former Deputy Sean Grayson was convicted of second-degree murder for fatally shooting Sonya Massey in 2024. Massey, a 36-year-old single mother, had called 911 about a prowler outside her home. The situation escalated inside her home, leading Grayson to shoot her in the face. The case sparked outrage, a $10 million settlement, and reforms in police training and hiring transparency.
A federal judge in Minneapolis slammed ICE for a defined.
So, doing a video here about the tragic death of Sonya Massey. I'm sure a lot of people have seen that video, that body cam video of that whole incident. I really feel like she may have been going through, some type of paranoia mental episode. Not sure if she smoked weed or anything like that. Not sure of that, but seemed like she was going through some type of episode, or maybe it could have been somebody prowling. Just don't know. But what I do know is she didn't deserve to die in that whole situation. And 20 years, the cop deserves all 20 of those years, and hopefully he's able to serve those 20 years and not be let out early. But typically people get released early from situations like that. And I hate to be the type that wishes jail on anyone, but again, Sonya Massey didn't deserve to die, especially in that nature, at the hands of law enforcement who she had called out there, believing that someone was prowling into her home or prowling around her home. And the news, man, they could have just came on and said that this former deputy was sentenced for murdering Sonya Massey, and not necessarily just say murdering a black woman. The whole black thing, man, it's just like it's getting outdated in my opinion. It's just like most of us are not black, most of us are technically brown. But now brown has been attributed to Hispanics, so it's just one of those things, man, that always runs across my mind. It's just like that was one of the things of old, and it just stuck, and it don't seem like it'll ever go away, especially not in my lifetime. But calling people black and stuff like that is definitely outdated. Definitely outdated. Attributing a color to any person is kind of outdated. It's like, we got to go by races and not necessarily colors, crayon colors. So here's another clip of this whole thing.
Meanwhile, sentencing just wrapped for the former sheriff's deputy convicted of killing a woman inside her Springfield, Illinois home after she was the one who picked up the phone and called 911 for help. You're looking at the mugshot for Sean Grayson, convicted of second-degree murder last October for that 2024 shooting of Sonya Massey. CBS News reporter Karen Hua was in that courthouse for the sentencing.
It's been an incredibly emotional morning here inside the courthouse in Springfield, Illinois. The judge ultimately sentenced Sean Grayson to 20 years in prison plus 2 years of mandatory supervised release. This was met with a lot of cheers from the family and also from supporters outside the courthouse. We immediately started hearing chants of Sonya Massey's name as well as Black Lives Matter. In speaking to the family immediately after the sentencing, they made it clear that these are the best case scenarios given this unfortunate circumstance. Again, they were not very happy with this conviction of second-degree murder in the first place. The family was hoping for that conviction of first-degree murder, which would have yielded a sentence of anywhere from 45 years to life in prison. But given that 20 years is the maximum sentence for second-degree murder, they are happy that the judge ultimately sentenced Grayson to this maximum sentence. Ultimately, they told us that 20 years is not enough, but again, it is the best case scenario in this instance. They ultimately said, quote, abuses of power will not be excused or minimized, saying that this case, this sentencing, sets a precedent for several other cases involving law enforcement and involving race relations across the country. They also said that they were super thankful for all of the support and the love from strangers across these past 2 years. We also heard from Sonya's father, who gave perhaps one of the most powerful statements in court. He ultimately said that while he's overwhelmed with joy, he does want Sean Grayson prosecuted federally after this. Take a listen at what he had to say.
I am just overwhelmed with joy. We prayed that this would happen, that he would get the maximum sentence. But we look forward to him being prosecuted federally for violation of Sonya's civil rights. I don't care about who's running this country right now, but I'm gonna let you know that as her dad, I want him prosecuted federally too, so that when his sentence is up here in the state of Illinois, he can begin his federal sentence in the federal penitentiary.
Now, ultimately, speaking to several members of the Massey family, they say they don't believe justice fully exists for Sonya, but now with this maximum sentence, they hope they can put some closure to this chapter of their lives and move forward. Back to you.
Yeah, I don't feel like justice will ever fully be served in this situation here, because again, there was a loss of life, and they'll never get their loved ones back. So. Definitely send my condolences again, because I wasn't doing YouTube at this time when this occurred. But stories like this definitely made me want to jump on here and start covering these news clips and these actual real world stories of real things that's actually going on out here. And again, they should have definitely approached this situation entirely differently. Now I understand, she was going to throw maybe some hot water on them. We really don't know if she was going to do that or not, but they have to have a better way of diffusing situations, or trying at least to de-escalate. They have to do a better job, because at the end of the day, you're police officers, and you're there to protect and serve. And I don't feel like it was any protection for Sonya Massey that night. Not again, we know what in her eyes why she called the cops there, but only God knows really why, this particular officer was one of the officers who responded there. And it's just like that whole encounter just kind of just went left so fast. It really went fast because it was like a build up to it, but at the end of the day, it just could have been handled a whole lot differently, just in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And again, I don't think 20 years is enough justice, but it's what the family is definitely happy to get, being that it's a second-degree murder charge and not a first-degree murder charge. And we'll just have to see if this case gets picked up federally for her, as the father was saying, her civil rights were violated on that night. But if you haven't watched that body cam video, you do a quick search on YouTube, and you'll definitely see the video. And there's other channels who have reacted to and kind of broke down that video as well. And you can see, reactions on both sides, from the side of the officer was justified in doing it, and from the side of he wasn't justified in doing it. In my opinion, I don't feel like he was justified in doing it. And even if he was to shoot her to try to disarm her, or with the pot, or to shooting her in the face, you was shooting to kill her. There's just no more to it than that. But yeah, Sean Grayson sentenced to 20 years for the murder of Sonya Massey. So I'm going to close out this video. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.